Georgia, the US and UK blamed Russia for a massive coordinated cyber attack that took thousands of Georgian websites offline in October 2019. The UK and the US say they believe the attacks were perpetrated by a Sandworm team, a unit operated by the Russian military intelligence service. Facebook removed 2 unconnected networks of accounts, pages and groups engaging in foreign or government interference, one originating in Russia and the other one in Iran, both of which have alleged ties to intelligence services. The Trump administration cracked down on birth tourism by making it harder for pregnant women, including hundreds of Russian women, to travel to the US to secure American citizenship for their babies giving birth in the country. The entire Russian government resigned, including Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, after Putin proposes a series of amendments to the Russian constitution meant to enable him to continue steering Russia after his 4th presidential term expires in 2024. Putin appoints Mikhail Mishustin as the new prime minister. Trump and Pompeo hosted Lavrov in Washington, agreeing with him on the need for denuclearization of North Korea, but disagreeing on whether to extend New START, as the US side insisted on including China in a new arms control deal. Russia formally proposes to the US that the 2 nuclear superpowers extend New START, which expires in February 2021, by 5 years. What of the future? US and Russian leaders in 2030 will face a global landscape whose key features will include the following: a bipolar plus world. The United States and China will remain the biggest actors in the world stage, even if their ability to act globally over the next 7 years is significantly diminished as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, competing domestic demands on resources and preoccupation with internal matters. A proliferated world. The spread of new lethal and potentially destabilizing military technologies will strain further global non-proliferation regimes. A more conflict-prone world. The number and intensity of conflicts in and around the Eurasian continent will likely to grow. A strategically unstable world. The United States and Russia are developing weapons that are not constrained by existing arms control frameworks or subject to any rules or limitations. A technology-transformed world. Breakthroughs in various technologies such as artificial intelligence, 5G networks, renewables and vaccines for new coronaviruses are bound to widen America's competitive advantage over Russia. The US-Russia Strategic Stability Framework, which was painstakingly built over decades, is at the risk of dissolution. Although treaty violations and unilateral withdrawals has fostered an environment of mutual mistrust, the Trump administration views existing arms control agreements as no longer responsive to the evolving surviving security environment, including the inclusion of all nuclear weapons, the emergence of new weapons such as hypersonic vehicles or space-based systems, and most importantly China's modernization of its strategic nuclear forces. The Eastern Mediterranean remains the most likely flashpoint for a military incident between the US and Russia. To avoid a drift towards confrontation, the US and Russia need to clearly define and communicate interest in the region and shift towards regional diplomacy. The recent Berlin conference regarding Libya is a good precedent.